6 minutes will be yellow, and 7 minutes is red. And for the table topics portion of the meeting will be 1 minute will be green, 1 minute and 3 seconds will be yellow, and 2 minutes red. And then for the evaluation portion will be, it's gonna be the same process, but for the time it will be 2 minutes, will be green, 2 will be is yellow, and 3 minutes will be red. Thank you, and that was my role for the evening, and back to the Toastmaster for the evening.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Caleb, in your own words, it doesn't have to be anything exclusive. Just tell us what your role is this evening and what will you be doing in that role?
So my role for today is the all counter, and all counter. And my role is to count the amount of times where someone uses filler words such as ums, ahs, or whatever to fill in the space where someone would normally use silence to think.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is exactly what your role is for the evening, and you'll be listening to that during the prepared speeches if we had one or any. Then you would move on to the table topics portion, and then during the general evaluation, you'll also be listening as well, or the prepared evaluation, but we don't have one, I don't think, tonight. So Bethany, thank you for that, Caleb. Bethany, could you give us in your own words your role this evening and what you will be doing in that role?
My role is a grammarian, so I'm looking for the misuse of the English language. In addition, we also have our word of the day, which is respite, and it is defined as a short period of rest or relief from something that is difficult or unpleasant. So I'll be looking for the use of the word of the day also.
Thank you very much. We will call on you during the general evaluator will call on you during the evaluation portion of the meeting, and that time you will present your report. Okay. Without any further ado, we're going to move in. I don't think we have a prepared speech or anyone offering to do a pocket speech this evening. So we're going to move right into that portion of the meeting where everyone can participate, and that is the table topics portion. We do have a theme this evening, and that theme is school time. Yes, we have just embarked upon what most of us have. We have officially ended our respite, which for me, that's exactly what the break from school is. It is a period of rest from something that is difficult and maybe for some even unpleasant. This evening, I'm going to ask a few questions, and I'm going to state the question first and give everyone an opportunity to raise their hand or speak up if they want to answer the question. I have 6 questions, and the first one that I'm going to start with is, school time usually means fall or autumn, which means cooler weather. Is this a good thing or a bad thing for you? Autumn, cooler weather. Do you like it or not? Is the question. Go ahead, Maurice.
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, as the Table Topics Master asked, is autumn a good time or good respite when it arrives during the year? And my answer is yes. I guess once upon a time, I liked the summer a lot more than I do now. And I guess it's rougher for everyone, because I guess the average temperature rises every year. So I assume it's less pleasant for everybody else, not just me. But yes, I like when autumn kicks in, or even the few weeks before autumn is when weather starts to cool down. And it makes it easier to do activities outside, and especially yard work. So as a respite, for me, autumn is welcomed. Back to you, Toastmasters.
Very good, Maurice. Thank you for your answer. My next question, and I know some of you have heard this before. When I was a little bitty girl, 6 years old, and if someone asked me, what did I want to be when I grew up? My answer was, I wanted to be a cowgirl and have a white horse named Lightning. Before you were the age of making real serious thoughts about your future, what was one of those childhood things that you wanted to be when you grew up?
I can go ahead.
Okay, go ahead,
I
Bethany.
apologize. I think the apartment next door is doing some work on their walls or something, so there might be a little bit of sound. But the topic I was asked to respond to was what I wanted to be when I was a little kid before I decided, sorry, but just basically when I was a child, I initially wanted to be a sorry. Excuse me. I eventually wanted to be a veterinarian and work with animals, and especially helping sick animals. Also wanted to become a astronaut when I was a little kid, because growing up in Huntsville, which is Rocket City, is just knowing that all the engineering, all of the aerospace, all of the rockets and everything else just really inspired me to go into the sciences, and especially looking at astronomy and looking at what my father did as a career. He was an electrical engineer. He worked for NASA. In addition, he also had a lot of friends from work who were engineers. So that really made me interested in the sciences. But however, now I'm in medical school, I'm trying to become a doctor, and my experiences as a child was mostly being interested in being a vet and then also in being an astronaut.
All right, thank you very much, Bethany. That was pretty nice. You've been having some great thoughts about what you wanted to be since for a long time, and all of those are awesome, and especially coming from a father that was in aerospace and in engineering. That's awesome. I've worked in aerospace for 21 years. So I know quite a bit about a little bit of everything when it comes to aerospace. Thank you very much for your response. The next question is, school time means sports time, but what's another extracurriculum class or activity you engaged in while in school? School time means sports time, but what's another extracurriculum activity or class you engaged in while in school?
Okay, I'll take that again.
Okay.
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, the question that was asked was, what other type of extracurricular activity besides sports did one participate in while in school? For me,
you participated.
me. Well, that's what I'm the one who answered, so who accepted. So I'm the one who will. For me, extracurricular activity besides sports that I participated in, and it was in elementary school and then early in junior high school. Well, actually, I can name at least 3 besides sports. I was in the drama club for the 5th and maybe the 6th grade. I was in a choir, I think maybe 5th and 6th grade. And then I was in the band in the 7th grade. and I was just learning how to play the drums. I did march in a parade without fully learning to play the drums. But after that, I had a history of quitting stuff from 8th grade on out. So even though I didn't I did do sports in high school for briefly, but besides sports, I did band, I did choir, and I did drama club. Back to you, Topics Master.
Okay, that's pretty interesting, Maurice. I can see you being in some drama classes time or two. That seems like you, now I guess you just changed your mind, didn't choose to pursue that career, huh?
Correct.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay, my next question is, let's see. Check that off. Early or late? What type of bird were you in school and why? Caleb is excited to talk about that one. I bet I know what his answer is. Early or late, Caleb? Who were you and why?
Oh, I was definitely a night owl, and I'm still a bit of a night owl. And I've tried to force my body to wake up at 6 and 5 in the morning. And for a few years in grad school, I did get my body adjusted to waking up at 6, going to the gym at 7 and 8, and then getting to lab and then working throughout the day. But in graduate school, your schedule is flexible. So I can go into work at any hour, really any hour I want, as long as I'm working throughout the day. So my schedule started at 7 and 8 a.m. and has been slowly drifting to 9 a.m., then 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and then to 7, 8, 9 p.m. in the evening, which means I stay up far later than I should. And what ends up happening is my sleep schedule just drifts like time zones. But that is my answer to that question. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Caleb. I would have thought that you would have been an early bird, but okay. Yeah, I'm just the opposite. I never liked getting up early, but I've been doing it for so many years until the thought of working past 2:30 or 3 o'clock is just like, no, you're taking away my time, because I'm used to being at work at 5 a.m. or either 6 a.m. So 1:30 or 2:30 and my day is done and I don't want any more of it. I've had enough. I'm on to what's for dinner, going to the gym. I enjoy doing that, or talking on the phone, or going shopping or something. But thinking of working the actual 9 to 5 o'clock, oh my goodness, that would drive me nuts. So it's funny how we're all different. The next question is, and be honest, when you had the chance to pick your own seating, did you try to sit next to the smart guy or the cool folks? Where did you sit in the classroom? Next to the smart guy or the ones that you thought were the coolest? Go ahead, Donovan, it's all yours.
Can someone time me, please?
Yes, I can do that. Hold on before you start. Oh, Maurice said he has it. Okay, thank you.
Hello, guests and fellow Toastmasters. My question that was proposed was please.
I said, when you had the opportunity to pick your own seating, did you try to sit next to the smart guy or the cool guy? Where did you sit in class?
So what I always try to do is try to sit up front. And that could be with the smartest guys, it could be with the coolest guys. It just depends on who's sitting well. And so the truth is that I have a disability, and because of my disability, I had accommodations. And one of my accommodations was to sit up front, so it'd be easier for me to see the teacher and pay more attention better. Like, because sometimes I can drift off sometimes, and I don't want other people to be a bad influence to me. So I would have chosen to be with both. It just depends on who's sitting around. And that is my two topics of the evening. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Maurice, for that. Your time, I'm sorry, Donovan, is 1 minute and 15 seconds. Thank you, Maurice. I'm going to ask one, maybe two more questions, depending on how much time we have. And this question is, I was going to say in response to you, Donovan, I like to sit up front too, because I can get easily distracted. The only thing that would stop me from sitting up front is if a teacher did not allow us to chew gum. Because when I was testing and when I was in school and it was test day, I had to have a piece of gum. I don't understand. And I didn't pop it. I just had to be chewing constantly. And I had to have that gum. And don't tell me I can't chew gum in class, because I'm going to chew it anyway. I was defiant only when it came to chewing gum in class. My next question is, summertime is a respite for most of us. It's a time to take a break. Tell me another time that you use to, a respite from difficulties of school. What other things are a respite for you? Summertime is a respite or a break time from the difficulties of school. What other things or what other time is a respite for you?
Can go ahead and answer this one.
Okay.
So to answer the question, what other times other than summer would be a respite for me?
Respite, that's right.
And very much lately, this wasn't always the case, but the gym has become a major respite for me. As I've gotten older, I've been trying to take better care of myself, and it's become a lot easier to go to the gym and work out my problems than it was back in the past, where I had more questionable methods of dealing with stress, or going out with friends, staying up even later than I already stayed up. So by going to the gym and doing something proactive and healthy, I could exercise, get some work done, and feel like I was progressing towards a goal that would leave me satisfied in the evenings rather than stressed out or feeling like I wasn't doing work that I should have been doing beforehand. And that's a major source of respite for me. Back to you. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much for that, Caleb. And I agree. Some people find joys in all sorts of things. And it's so difficult because when you think of someone as like, oh, I hate going to the gym. I hate going for a walk. I hate working out. I hate lifting weights. And I'm like, man, those things give me so much joy, so much peace, and definitely respite for me. All right, I think I have time for one more, Maurice. Do you agree? 7:19.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take one more. And we are still talking about school time. Oh, Maurice, Donovan, you had something?
Yeah, actually, since everyone else answered the question, I was thinking of asking you a question instead.
Well, go ahead. Why? I thought you never asked.
So my question is what was one thing that you're excited about school? What made you get up in the morning and go to school?
The question is, Toastmasters and guests, what is the one thing that I got excited about when going back to school? And I must be honest, and that is absolutely nothing. I do not like school. I've graduated from high school. I've graduated from college a couple of times. I've been actually a student of higher learning for a total of 10 years. I was registered and full time at different universities. And I did it all with a goal in mind, and that was just to better myself. So for me, school is a means to an end. I could think of a lot of things. Now, if it's an interesting topic like psychology, the study of a human mind, or when I took workplace safety and all those small courses that I used to take, or leadership skills or life coaching, those small individual classes that I would take that was tailored or catered to just what my interests were, then yes, I found those to be quite exciting. But just the mundane getting up every day to go to school, to take classes, to come home, do homework, read a bunch of chapters, a bunch of books, and learn things that I probably felt like I was never going to use again in life used to drive me up a wall. So I did not find much joy in going to school, but I had to do it. And I am happy to say that I've done it over and over and over. Back to me, table topics master. Thank you, Donovan, so much for that question. Oh, that's sad to say, but I just never really cared for school. Okay, so I think the time is now 7:22. We can move on to our evaluation portion, Maurice, unless you think we need to ask another question or so.
That's okay. We'll move on.
Okay. All right, I will pass this back over to myself as Toastmaster of the evening. And we have come to the portion of the meeting where we go over our evaluations. So first I will call on our general evaluator, Maurice, and he will call on his team to give their reports. Maurice, to you, general evaluator.
All right, thank you. The first thing what we will do is the timers report with Donovan.
Thank you, Maurice, all guests, and fellow Toastmasters. My role this evening was the timer, and I have gathered the time from mostly the table topics portion because we didn't have any prepared speeches. So first, Maurice's first table topic was 1 minute and 15 seconds. Olivia's first and only table topic was 1 minute and 27 seconds. Caleb's first was 1 minute and 14 seconds. Bethany's was 1 minute and 31 seconds. And mine was 1 minute and 15 seconds, thanks to Maurice. Then Maurice's second table topic was 1 minute and 42 seconds. And Caleb's second table topic was 1 minute and 12 seconds. Thank you, and that was my report for the evening.
All right, thank you, Donovan. At this time, we'll have the all counters report with Caleb.
So for my all count report, I didn't hear any ahs for anyone else, but for myself, I think I made it up to 5. So that's something I'm still working on, but I didn't hear anyone else. I'm sorry if I missed one, but that is my report. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Caleb. And now we'll have the grammarian's report and the word of the day with Bethany.
Okay, so I'm not too sure what to say for this role, but I'll do my best and start with how many times people have used the word of the day. Olivia, you said respite 3 times today. Maurice, once. And Caleb, you also said it, respite, or not twice, but once. And I did not note any issues in the English language.
All right, thank you. And now for the general evaluation of the meeting as a whole, we had to take a 5-minute recess to wait for people to tune in. And then we went over the roles, and then we really got the meeting started, I guess around 6:55-ish.
Mhm.
And then we got rolling with the table topics. And then from there on, the meeting went pretty smoothly from there. And that is my general evaluation of the meeting as a whole. And then I will like to relinquish the lectern back to the Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Maurice, for your general evaluation and everyone else that participated in a role. Well, that was all of us that had a role this evening. I don't think we have any awards, and I was just going to give a little bit of a etiquette for our education overview, if that's okay with you, Maurice. So I will, just so that it will be a reminder for us, and then good information for our new family members, Bethany and Caleb. And that is, we never leave the lectern unattended. So in a real meeting, or no, let me not say real meeting, but in a physical in-person meeting, every time you leave the lectern, it's a handoff. Normally it's a handshake. I know it's been a couple of years now and we've kind of gotten away from that. So we even do fist bumps or whatever we want to do an official handoff. And so that you don't leave the lectern unattended, it should always have a warm body standing in front of it, around it, depends on what activity you're getting involved in. And then the next thing that we do is we always show some type of, what word do we use when we say that? We show, I guess, an appreciation to the person that just finished a role. So normally we'll do a little small clap. So sometimes if you see some of us that still clap or put our hands together, it's only because that's what we've been used to doing. Whenever someone leaves the role or finishes saying something, we give them just a little warm tribute by clapping. So that's just some of the things that you will notice as you guys as we begin to participate, hopefully in the near future, in more in-person meetings. And another thing that I wanted to mention to you guys, as well as a reminder for us, that it's always good to go and visit other clubs so you can check out other clubs. A lot of them are virtual now, so you can go and visit a club in any state. I think we had one person that was on a mission to visit a club in every state. We had one guest and they popped in because they were on our side of town, but their goal was to finish to visit a club in every state. So definitely do that. You may get some ideas. Not that we want you to not come to us now. You're our family now, but you can definitely get some new ideas and some new perspectives, because ultimately the goal of Toastmasters is to make us better selves, make us better at who we are, whether it be leadership or public speaking or just having that presence, the fortitude. Sometimes we just need a little extra guidance or a push. And that's what Toastmasters is all about. And you'll be surprised some things that you will pick up and learn from other Toastmaster clubs that do things just a little bit differently. So that was just my education overview for this evening. And back to you, Mr. President, as we close out our meeting.
All right, thanks for that. And thanks everyone for joining in for the meeting tonight.